This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, friends. Good evening, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. So, from today, we're going to be discussing about a project on MSBA, right? So, why is that we should do the project, and what are the learning points, and what are the benefits if I do this project? So, many students after the course, normally you may join in the classroom training, or you may be doing a online training. After the training, normally what we do, we prepare a CV and we upload the CV in the portals, right? So when you upload the CV and you're ready for the interviews now, you study some interview questions and you're now to take the interview calls. That is when you will have a lot of issues, and the interviewer will come to know that you are not the the proper person, because you cannot answer the real time issues, because you just now completed the course. You will not be able to tell the the proper production issues or the real time issues. Okay, that is where you will be failing in the interviews regularly. Okay, it may take 1 year, 6 months, or 8 months, or 10 months, because you know the subject. If somebody asks what is the primary key, you can tell. But if they ask, where did you exactly implement primary key in your project? Tell me the table names and how they are linked to the dimension tables and the fact tables. And can you, just narrate me the complete data warehousing architecture? When you ask like this, that means that time you don't know what to tell. But if somebody asks what is a foreign key, what is a primary key, what is a select clause, what is a vary clause, and how do you load the data, what is Excel sheet, what is in derived column transformation, what is lookup transformation. If somebody asks like that, you will be able to tell the answers very, very clearly. There is no issue at all. But they don't ask these kind of a questions. They'll ask you, tell me one package from starting to end. How did you implement logging? How did you move the data from the source to the destination? How do you get the data from the customers? And what are the sources you have implemented? And what are the table names? What are the column names? And what is the size of the data you're getting it? And how much time does it take to load the data? And how do you load the data to the data warehousing? Do you load the data to the dimension table first or factor table? Did you implement Snowflake schema or star schema? And what are the benefits of Snowflake schema? What are the benefits of star schema? And why did you use only Snowflake schema? If they ask this kind of a question, you don't have any answers, right? So definitely you're stuck. And they ask you, there is a problem in the cube or there is a problem in SSIS package. How do you troubleshoot it? And how do you know that there is a problem in the SSIS package? And what are the issues you got it last 1 month in your project? And tell me, what is the goal of your project? So if they ask something like that, you don't have any clue how to deal with it. Clear? So completely, you have theoretical knowledge, but you don't have any kind of a project implementation. If you don't do any project, if you attend only classes and whatever the trainer is telling in the class, you repeat the same thing in the home. So you do some homework, but you watch my video or you watch your trainer's videos, you're going to be repeating the same steps. You will not get any kind of a challenge or any kind of an issue, because the steps are clear in the class. You will be repeating the same steps. You will be able to complete the demo practically. But even though you do that, you will not be able to get the complete picture where exactly we're going to be using this transformation. So they'll ask you, okay, lookup transformation have you used? Then they'll ask you, where exactly you have used lookup transformation? Give me one real-time scenario. And where did you use, derived column transformation in your project? How did you configure that? Give me the real-time scenario. When they ask like that, you don't have any clue. The problem is that what is a derived column transformation, what is a lookup, but where exactly you have implemented, how did you implement, what are the issues you have faced while using the lookup transformation. All these things when they ask, you don't have any proper answers. So people will come to know that you're not a experienced guy, you're a fresher, right? So with the knowledge, even though you go and study a lot of interview questions, and getting the job is very, very difficult. Even though you got a job, some luck, you got a job. After that, if somebody tells you this is a problem in the package, you try to debug the package or try to identify the issues in the package. Now you don't know how to debug the package. That means after going to the office, you don't know how to troubleshoot it, how to work, where to start, where not to work, what all you need to see in the package, or what all you need to see in the report, what all you need to see in the SQL server. No clue. Clear? So that is where you hate your job. Clear? Because you don't have any kind of a knowledge. Then a team lead will come and they will be sitting with you and they'll give you one problem. They'll ask you to troubleshoot it. They'll ask you to identify the issue in the package. So you don't have any clue where to start and where to end. So they will be waiting for 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. Then they'll call you for the meeting. So we are not expecting this kind of a behavior, Bhaskar. I think you're not able to, debug the package. You're not able to identify the issue in this. Now tell me, are you a real guy? Do you have any experience or not? So definitely they'll suspect. Either they'll remove you or you have to come out of the company. Clear? Because if you don't have proper project knowledge and getting the job is very, very difficult, even though you got job without the project knowledge, sustainability is also very, very important thing. Clear? So to fulfill that, so student has to have the theory knowledge. That is not enough. Okay. So if you learn theory, you understand that 20 to 30% of the knowledge on MSB. You think like that. If you understand MSBA and SQL Server very well, that means you need to write, I know only 30% of MSBA knowledge. So I have to gain another 70% of the knowledge. Even though you watch my videos or even though you watch, one more class of online training, you will not increase your knowledge. So it will still be the 30% of the knowledge you will have. But when you do a project, at least your knowledge can increase another 40%. At least with the 70% knowledge, you should be able to go to the companies. Clear? So here we're going to be gaining a lot of real-time, project we're going to be discussing, and which is completely on the insurance domain and the medical domain. And real-time data will be given to you. You will be given a task, and one task I'll be taking. I'll be showing how to do this activity. The rest of the activities you have to do. However I have done it. But while doing these activities, different people will fail in different places. I will get issue somewhere. You will get issue somewhere. Some other people will get issue somewhere. So that when you do this activity on your own, you will get a lot of issues. Each and every issue that you're getting, you have to capture it. Okay, you need to capture it and you have to find out the solution. If you're not able to find the solution, next day when we meet in the class, you have to share me your screen. I can see the solution, I can see the problem, I can give you solution to that. So there is a problem and there is a solution. There is a problem, there is a solution. So these can be used, to answer this question. So what are the challenges that you have faced in the previous project or in the current project? So you will get thousands of challenges, not only one or two. You will get everywhere the issue. Everywhere the packages will fail. Everywhere, you will get a lot of issues with SSRS, SSIS, and SSAS. Every time you're loading the data, you will get an issue, right? While creating a report, you will get lot of issues. So lot of learning will be there. Each and every challenge that you are getting here, that will be the turning point or the learning point for you to get the more and more knowledge. And all the challenges you can explain in the interviewer, so that they will ask more and more questions. Since you will be doing, you'll be giving the solution here, the same solution also you can give it there. So here I am not going to be giving any kind of a solution. I'll give you some pointers. Look into that, look into that, look into this, look into this. You may be failing, you may be taking more time, doesn't matter. Clear? Doesn't matter. But definitely you will be learning a lot of things. That is how the company, you have the same kind of a challenge in the company as well. That is how you need to, see the issues. If the issue comes, where all we need to look into. So that is what you're going to be learning from today. Am I clear? The real-time challenges, the real-time issues, how the customer is going to be giving the data, what kind of a data you get it, and how do you load the data to the staging, why staging, how do you load the data to the data warehousing, right? what are the tables you have, how the dimension tables are linked to the factor tables, how many factor tables you have, how many dimension tables you have. So each and everything that you are going to be seeing from day in and day out, the same thing you can explain in the interview so that you can easily crack the interview. Okay, so many of my students, many of my students who have, who have 10 plus years of experience, and they would like to switch the, domain from some other domain to this domain. They have done this project and they got very good packages as well. And people, putting 3 years, 5 years of experience, and they also able to get the jobs in the first or maximum second or third round of interviews. They're able to get the offers. Others, they are taking sixth round, seventh round, eighth round. So they're losing the job opportunities because they have lack of knowledge. Clear? So it will take minimum of 45, hours. Clear? So if you wanted to complete, you should be able to complete in 1 month's time. But you need to put a lot of effort, at least minimum 2 hours, 3 hours per day when you implement it. You can complete this project in 1 month's time. Otherwise, if you put only 1 or 1.5 hours, it may take, another 10, 15 days extra. Clear? So that is what you need to know. Now, let me tell you about this project. So who's the client? The client name is called Taurus from UK. The project name is TARDIS. It is completely into healthcare domain, medical domain. Medical means hospital, pharmacy. All these domains are called as medical domains or healthcare domains, right? So team size, how many people are there in your project? So you can tell them that, we are 10 people or 8 people. You can tell them like this. Clear? So, so you have a team lead here and you have senior software engineer like that, and below you may be a software engineer. Okay, so like that you should be able to know your chart. Basic questions also people cannot tell. What is the team size? What is your position in the company? So they will not be able to tell this, answers also. SSE means senior software engineers, you will be having it, and you have a team lead, and below SSE you have a software engineer. Clear? You are the MSBI developer, maybe .NET developer, whatever be the, the technology that you're using, you will be a software engineer, right? So at least 0 to you can say 3.5 or 4. Okay, 0 to 3.5 or 0 to 4. You can say I'm a software engineer and I have this much of, experience, 0 years to 4 years, and you can say 4 years, 4 years to, like I can say up to 7 years. Okay, 7 years. So all these people are called as a senior software engineers, and greater than 7, greater than 8. Okay, 7 years, you will be a team lead in your company. So it may change country to country, in a place to place, doesn't matter. So in India, this is how we're going to be following. But America, you may have 0 to 5 years or 5 to 8 years, or more than 9 years, you may be a team lead there. Clear? So what is your role? So this is you. This is you. You have at least 4 to 5 years of experience. Still, you're working on a working as a software engineer, and you're reporting to a senior software engineer, and you have a reporting structure like this. Clear? So what is the team size? Now you can understand. Team size, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. Clear? So you're a, software engineer. You're reporting to senior software engineer, and you have approximately 3 to 4 years of experience in MSBI, along with SQL Server and data warehousing. And at least this point you should be able to tell, and to whom you are going to be reporting. You have a, SSC, directly you report, and if you have any kind of an issue, sometimes you can also talk to the TL. Clear? So that is also there, but directly you will be able to, talking to your senior software engineer, that, who's your supervisor or who's your boss. Clear? And you have a client somewhere here. So people may ask you, do you take also client calls regularly? If you're a junior guy, this is the client. Client may be Amazon.com or maybe any other company, Netflix.com. You're working for a Citibank.com, whatever you wanted to have. Clear? So people would ask you, do you directly talk to the client? So do you have any meetings regularly? Do you talk to the client directly? You can say that I never talk to the client directly. So definitely our team lead, our SSEs will be having a, daily calls, daily, say 7 p.m. Indian timing, we'll be having the calls to the, with the client. The client is from US or UK, whatever you would like to say, you can tell them that to the client. And I don't take any calls, but if you're good in communication and if you're good in, if you have more and more exposure, then you can tell them that, yeah, we have daily, client calls, and I'll be taking all the issues, and we'll have status calls and everything. So I'll be one of the person in talking there. Or you can tell them that I don't talk. So we have SSEs and we have TLs who's going to be talking to my client. So we have regular calls, or you can say alternate days we have a calls with the client. So all these questions are asked in the interviews. Do you talk to the client regularly? You can tell them that no, I never talk, but sometimes I open if I get some kind of an issues. Otherwise, I always, will have meetings with the internal team, but with external clients and everything, I don't talk. So we have a team. My TL is going to be talking, or my senior software engineer who's going to be talking to the, my client. So at least you are good to reply this kind of a things. Clear? So what is the duration? So last 2 years or last 3 years, you can tell them that you're working on this project, and the module is completely insurance module in the medical domain. And what is that you have done last 2 years? That is the question people would ask. Okay, you're doing in this project for last years. What are the things? What are the activities that you have done? You can tell them that created lots of SSIS packages for full loading and incremental loading. Approximately some 30 to 40 packages I have created last 2 years. I worked on various SQL, T-SQL commands, store procedures, views, functions, very basic to advanced level of procedures we have implemented. So I have good exposure on the store procedures and views functions, something like that, and good queries. Created lot of reports last 2 years, at least 100 plus reports I have created. What are the reports you have created? Drilling down, drilling through, right? Sub reports, this report, that report, parameterized report. So you can tell them at least these kind of a things. Now we'll have attend meetings, not daily, alternate days we'll have meetings with the client, and we'll have daily meetings within the internal team. Clear? Documentation is also one of the important, thing that we're going to be working on it, and coding, daily activities, and conduct KT sessions. If the new fellow joins in my team, I will be giving knowledge transfer session about the project. Clear? These are my roles and responsibilities that I am handling last 2 years in this company. So most of the time we are going to be spending, most of the time what are we going to be doing? We're going to be spending a lot of the time in the coding only, right? So all of them, so creating a package is a coding, right? Worked on this one is a coding, creating reports are coding, attending means documentation conduct sessions. You may be having at least some 20% of the time. Remaining 80% of the time you are going to be coding. You may be creating SSIS, or you may be working on a stored procedure, or you may be working on something else. Clear? So that is what your roles and responsibilities in the current company. Clear? You cannot say that I only code. I don't do any kind of a documentation. What documentation you're going to be doing, that we're going to be discussing later. Clear? Deployment guides that you're going to be creating, and you're going to be creating a lot of mapping documents, a lot of things. The documentation also very very important. So at the time of deploying the code, how do you deploy the code? What kind of a documentation you create? All these things you need to tell them in the interview. Clear? What are the deployment issues of SSAS packages? What are the deployment issues of the cubes? And what are the issues with the SSRS reports at the time of deploying to the production? All these things we're going to be seeing. We will be giving a dedicated server. Once the coding is done, everybody has to deploy your code to the production servers. So production server means that is when your code is getting deployed to the client end. Clear? So the deployment options also we are going to be implementing for SSIS and Cube and SSRS. So don't worry about it. Clear? The client needs a Taurus, project is a TARDIS. It is completely onto the medical healthcare domain project. Clear? So team size is 10 members, and last 2 years you're working on this project. and insurance module. So, what is this company, all about? It is understand. It is a medical insurance project from UK. Any customer can buy medical policy through web or online or agents or broker or third party. Policy can be renewed, and these policies are bought from various locations, various branches. Customer will get a lot of deductions when they buy a policy. A policy will have a limit on the insured amount. The customer will pay premium amount. Something about the project I am writing here. Let us talk about. So what is this project all about? Okay, now you know that you can buy a medical policy in India, right? So when you join a new company, the company is going to be giving you medical policy. That is, people who are working for the companies, they'll get medical policies. Or if you're not working for a company, if you wanted to buy a medical policy, can you buy it or not? Definitely, you should be able to buy a medical policy in India as well as in abroad. So this company is completely into selling the medical policies to the corporates, selling the medical policies to the clients. Clients means customers, individual customers like us. Okay. Now Taurus company is, this is the company. So you can go to this company. You should be able to buy a medical policy. Clear? So whenever you buy a medical policy, what is happening? How do you buy the medical policy? So there are, various options are available. So you can buy a medical policy through online. Through online, we can go to one mobile application. You should be able to buy online, or you can use web, or you can use phone. Okay, app. You can use app. You can download the app, install the app. You should be able to buy a medical policy. Okay, how the customer is going to be buying a medical policy from the from the client means, customers are always, they go like this, they can buy a medical policy. Or customer also can go to the branch. Customer also can go to the branch. Okay, so they can visit the branch. They should be able to buy the medical policy. Okay, whenever they're buying the medical policy, all the data that they're going to be receiving, and this data is available in one of the server. You may think that this may be a SQL server, or this may be Oracle. So all the data through mobile applications, or when you go to the branch will have a lot of computers, right? When you make the payment, and when you make the payment, you're buying a medical policy, your data is going to come here. What kind of a data we're going to be having here? We're going to be having a customer's data, policy data. What kind of a policy you have taken it? Policy categories data. Okay, what are the categories of policies they're having it? They have a medical policy for the family, individual policy, cancer policy, lot of senior citizen medical policies, and medical policies for pregnant women. Lot of policies are available. Okay, so you have different policy categories are available. You have that kind of a data. And once you buy the policy, you will be able to renew the policy. Renewals data also available. And you will be able to make the premium amount. So this kind of a data you have. You have a lot of discounts data. What kind of a data you have? Customers data, policies data, policy coverage, policy renewals data, premium data, discounts data. Policy also will have a limitation. For example, if you buy a cancer policy, the limitation is, let us say, $10,000 per annum. That is the limitation. Or let us say 2 lakhs is the maximum coverage for this, or the 10 lakhs is the maximum coverage for this. That is the limit amount. So you have a premium amount, you will get a discount, you have a limit amount, you have a policy coverage, you have a policy section. Lot of tables are available. You are going to be storing the data in this. Clear? So people would ask you, what type of the data that you're storing in the server? You can tell them that policy ID, name of the policy holder, name of the policy, and what is the coverage amount. What is the policy start date? What is the policy end date? When did you renew it? Who are the family members who have under this policy? What type of the policy you have taken? All this data is stored under these tables, right? You have thousands of tables like this. You have lots of tables are available. So using that, you should be able to get the data. Clear? So what is the data that you're going to be having it? So these are the couple of tables. Real tables you're going to be seeing very soon. Okay. So it is all about, company is selling the medical policies. You people are buying. So this is the customer. Customer may be you or me who are there in the UK. Clear? Because this project is from UK. The Taurus company is selling what? Medical policies. Medical policies to the customers. That is what is the nature of the business. So we are talking about medical insurance project. Clear? We're talking about medical insurance project. The Taurus company is selling a lot of policies to the public. That's what you need to understand, how the customers are going to be buying the policies through online, through web, through application, through branch, or the customer may buy the medical policies over phone. You will be able to get a lot of phone calls, and there is a representative from the company. So using the phone calls, you should be able to answer them. If you're interested, they will be able to take the payment, and you can make the payment to them. So like that, different modes are available to buy the medical policy. There is no only one thing. So however you would like to buy, you can buy it, or you may have a agents, right? You may have agents. So those people, doing marketing work. So you have a broker, agent, or marketing people are going to be visiting your place, and through agents also you're planning to buy your medical policies. So lot of things are available. All the data is going to go here, and it is going to be stored. Clear? So some of the data sources, some of the data storage is that SQL Server and Oracle, and some of the data you have also available. You got some of the data in Excel. Okay, some of the data in the flat files as well. Okay, so people would ask you, what are the sources of the data in your project? You can tell them that. So at least 70% of the data we are getting from the database. Remaining 30% of the data we are going to be getting from the Excel files and the flat files. Clear? So this is what you need to tell. Now they'll ask you, what is the size of the data that you're loading? You can tell them that every month I'm getting 100 GB of data per month. Clear? Approximately, you can tell them that 10 million to 20 million rows we are going to be loading. Okay, or you can not more than that. Okay, more than that. It is not only 10 million. You can say 25 million to, let us say, 40 to 50 million of data we are going to be loading every month. The size of the data is 100 GB, and this is the rows count, number of rows. Clear? So at least 25, 70% means at least you can say some 10 million data, right? So 10 million data you may be getting from the files, and remaining data you may be getting from here. Okay, so 10 million data, or remaining 30 million data you may be getting from your Oracle and SQL Server. How do you load the data? So you have 100 GB of data to be loaded every month. So we are loading data not daily, loading weekly. So approximately every week you're going to be loading 25 GB of data to the destinations. That's what you need to understand. Clear? So every time we are going to be loading 25 GB of data, and you should also tell them that we have a lot of seasonality variations. Seasonality variation means, for example, Christmas season, you have sales, more sales, right? If there is a corona season, the medical policies are, people are buying more and more medical policies. Am I clear? So because of the seasonality variation, sometimes it may go up to 45 million, 60 million, rows will be there, because you have a lot of people are renewing, a lot of people are applying for the claims. Claims means once you're hospitalized, after taking a policy, you can go for a claim. So the claim data is also getting stored in your SQL Server or in the Oracle. Clear? So you have renewals data, claims data that you are getting. So approximately 100 GB of data that you're going to be getting. All the data. Clear? So all the data that you have it here, it is now is going to go. Let me erase this. So all the data from these are OLTP systems, right? These are OLTP systems. All the data from these OLTP systems, you take it initially and you dump into a staging server. Clear? So how do you dump the data? That we'll be discussing. Staging server. So this is also one more SQL server or Oracle server. So all the data from the flat files and Excel files in this one, we are going to be loading weekly. Clear? So using the staging server, so once in a week, so then all this data will be taken from here. We are going to be, we are going to be putting into a data warehousing. Clear? So this is what is called data warehouse, and the project client name is called Taurus. The project name is called TARDIS. Now all this data is available in a database called TARDIS. Clear? So the database OLTP database name is called TARDIS database. Now all the medical insurance data is available here. This database name is called TARDIS underscore stage database. All the data, it is going to come to the staging. From here, all the data, it is going to go to here. This is what is called TARDIS DWH database. Clear? So weekly data, monthly data, we are going to be getting every weekly here. And once you get the data, so what is it we're going to be doing in the staging? In the staging, we're going to be cleansing the data, cleaning the data. So cleansing the data is going to be done here. Now all the data, the perfect data is going to go here. In the data warehousing, we have dimension tables and we have a fact tables. Okay, hope you people know what is a dimension, what is a dimension table and what is a fact tables. Clear? So all this data, end of the day, it is going to go to the data warehousing. We have dimension tables and fact tables, and all this data will get loaded every weekly here. So I have every month 100 GB of data. So 100 GB into 12 months, approximately 1.2 terabytes of data per year. Now I am storing in this 10 years of data. So approximately into 10, 12 into 10 years, because so 1.2, sorry, 1.2 into 10 years. So approximately how much? It is 12 terabytes of data for 10 years. Okay. What is the data warehouse size that you have? So you can tell them that we have approximately, you can tell them that 10 to 12 terabytes of size of my data warehousing. If you don't tell these numbers, people will not know that you're a real time guy. And you should know the numbers. What is the data that you're getting? What is the number of rows that you're loading? And how much of time does time it takes to load the data? Okay. If you have every week 25 GB of data, it may take a minimum, you can tell them that 2 to 3 hours. Okay, 2 to 3 hours of time it is going to be taking to load the data from the sources to the destination. So here you can write, okay, 2 hours, or sometimes it may take up to 4 hours, 3 hours. So something like this, you can tell them that if you have a lot of data, a lot of time it is going to be taking to load the data, at least 2 hours. When is that the jobs are going to be running? You can tell them that midnight. So every weekend, Sunday midnight, around 1 o'clock, or midnight 1 o'clock, the jobs are scheduled. Automatically, the complete data is being, loaded to the staging. And in the staging, we're going to be cleansing the data. We're going to be cleaning the data. Then after cleaning it, we're dumping the proper data into the data warehousing. Data warehouse will have a dimension tables and the packet tables. If you're not, if you don't know proper data warehousing concept, I strongly recommend you go to my channel. I had given in-depth of data warehousing syllabus. I don't know whatever you have learned, that is fine. Go to YouTube and you look for Bhaskar Jogi data warehousing videos, and you need to learn this. Okay, Bhaskar Jogi, you can say data warehousing videos. Clear? You should be able to get You should be able to go to this, and I have given lot of things here. So you should be able to get all of them, without having any kind of an issue. Clear? So I have a lot of videos available here. So please make sure that you should know data warehouse in depth, how the data warehouse is loaded, and what is a dimension table, what is a factor table, what is a slowly changing dimension, what is a role playing dimension, what is how do you load the data to the data warehousing, what are the issues you face it, everything I have discussed over there. So you should know proper data warehousing knowledge. Clear? So the theory will be, less than some 7 hours. You have 7 videos there. You watch so that you can understand in depth of data warehousing concepts. Clear? And we're going to be dumping from OLTP data. This is what is called OLTP data. Okay? OLTP data is this data. So this data is OLTP data. Now that data is going to go to the TARDIS, data warehouse. This is what is called OLAP. Once you get the data here, the data warehouse is called as OLAP. Once you get the data here, then what we do, we are going to be creating, what is called as a cube. Okay. We're going to be creating a cube here. And after creating a cube, we're going to be creating a lot of reports as well. So the next issue is phase is that you create a cube. After creating a cube, you're going to be creating a lot of reports. Reports can be created with the help of Power BI or SSRS reports, or you can use Excel sheets as well. Excel as well you can use to get the data from the reporting. If you go to Excel, Excel is also number one reporting tool in this world. Clear? You should be able to go to Excel and existing connections. You don't have, you go to from other sources, from analysis services, from the cube. Okay, I don't have any cube here, but if you have a cube, you should be able to I don't have the cube here. So if you have a cube, you should be able to connect to the cube and get the data, create a lot of charts and submit those reports to the end user. You may use Power BI, Tableau, or ClickView, any reporting tool that you can use, and you should be able to get the reports. Now, why the company wanted to implement a BI? So what is that? Because normal OLTP system cannot store terabytes of data, because if you have 10 years of data, 12 terabyte of data, when you keep it in OLTP system will shake. It is not going to be working properly to the front end apps. Clear? So you should not keep more than 1 terabyte of data in OLTP. OLTP always will have some 500 to 800 GB of space. You should not have more and more hard disk here. Clear? OLTP will have data in the GBs only. So when you have, so now every month 100 GB means if you keep 1 year data also 1.2 terabytes of data here. Clear? So they don't keep data more than 1 month. So every week we're going to be sending the data to the data warehousing. So data warehouse is created when you have terabytes of data. Clear? If you don't have terabytes of data, no company will create a data warehouse. Remember this. For example, go onlinetrainings.com. I get every month 1,000 enquiries. So 1,000 enquiries for 10 years data, it is approximately 50 MB data I am storing in Excel sheets. Clear? So even though I have historical data, every month I'm getting 1,000 records, 1,000 into 12 months, approximately some 6,000 or 12,000 records per annum. 12 years data, 1.2, 120,000. So 1,20,000, approximately 30 to 40 MB of the data I have it. So you want me to create a data warehouse for that? The answer is no. Data warehouse means you should have minimum terabytes of data. Some people will have 4 terabytes, 5 terabytes, 10 terabytes, 12 terabytes, 14, 15 is the maximum size a data warehouse can store. If you're having more and more size in the data warehouse, it may fail. Clear? Average data warehouse size will be 12 to 14 terabytes. If you wanted to have more data, you have to have one more data warehouse in the company. So this data warehouse is going to store first 10 years of data. The next 10 years of data is going to be stored in the one more data warehouse. Clear? So the maximum capacity, or you can say average capacity of the data warehouse in the industry is 12 to 14 or 12 to 15 terabytes. You should not store more than that. Otherwise, data warehouse will, shake. Clear? So that's what is very, very important. You should know the numbers as well. Clear? So that is what you should know. Why the company is implementing BA? Because they have the data in the OLTP system that is more than terabytes of data every year. So that data you cannot keep it in a normal system and do analytics. So we wanted to keep the data into the data warehouse and do the data analytics on the data warehousing. Clear? Now, what kind of a data analytics this company wanted to do? That is the project objectives. Growth rate in terms of number of customers and profit year by year, location by location, branch by branch. They wanted to see this kind of a reports. Growth rate in renewals for the last few years. So each and every year, so how many people are buying and how many people are renewing? So 100 people may buy the policy today, but next year only 80% of the people are going to be renewing. Remaining 20% of the people, they don't renew it. They don't like your policy at all. If that is coming down, so next year 80%, after that 70%, after that 60%, if the number is coming down, then the TARDIS company, the Taurus company will check why people are buying policies but not able to renew. What is the issue? So they think that we are not covering a lot of diseases in the medical policies. They think that our renewal system is very, very costly, or we are not able to inform them. Reminders are not going on the proper time. So this could be some issue. Because of that, the people are not buying the medical policies. They're not renewing the medical policies. Clear? So what is that I can do? I can reduce the discount amount. I can give more discount. I can reduce the premium amount for the renewals. So if I give more and more offers, so definitely I will get the more and more customers. So I wanted to do this kind of data analytics. Clear? Analyze new customer ratio, analyze renewals ratio, analyze the time to issue the new policy, how much time I am taking, and how I wanted to understand how the claims are getting settled and which area claims are more, how much time I am taking to settle the claims, and what is the average settlement claim amount. Lot of things are there. Clear? Analyze time to issue the policy, customers and their existing policies, and can we do any kind of recommendations? For example, if you're crossing more than 40, for example, you have taken a policy at the age of 35. You are there with the company for 5 years, you're crossing 40. When you're crossing the 40, this company is recommending, hey, you're crossing 40, you may get, heart problems, or you may get diabetic issues, or you may get BP issues. Please pay 1,000 extra, $500 extra, and get, let us say, 10,000, premium insurance, will get covered under $100. Something like this, you can give the recommendations. By paying $100, you will be able to get $10,000, $20,000 is a premium amount that will be given. People who have crossed the 40, for them you're doing a campaign, a recommendations. So all these things can be done if you have the data, if you analyze the data properly. Clear? So those kind of recommendations. Analyze the number of claim settlements for the last few years, analyze the claim settlement amount for the last few years. Lot of reporting that they wanted to have, lot of things they wanted to understand from this company. So this is the reason why they have implemented. Why have they have implemented this project in their company? Clear? So what is that you have achieved? People may ask, okay, so what is that this company is gaining? So you can tell them that these are the things we were analyzing. So these are the reports we are creating and we are giving to the customers on the monthly basis, yearly basis. And the customers are, doing data analytics on the data analysis on the claim settlements, recommendations, number of policies renewed, number of customers are not coming to the company. They're only buying, they're not renewing. So a lot of things the company wanted to, analyze. So because of this, only this company is implemented, the business intelligence. And after business intelligence is implemented, they have got 20 to 30% of the profits, because they're able to analyze the data properly, and they're able to get a proper recommendations to the companies. They are gaining the business from this application. Okay, the client is very, very happy about my work. So you can tell them like that. Clear? So this is what is all about your project. Clear, guys. So, what are we going to be doing from tomorrow? We're going to be doing all the data from OLTP server and the Excel sheets, all the data from here, because this is the OLTP server. Whenever you buy a medical policy, all the data comes here. So, in the phase number one, we're going to be loading all the data from the TARDIS database, OLTP database, plus Excel sheets, all the data we're going to be loading into the staging server. So we create a TARDIS stage database as well, and we move this data. Once it is done, we're going to be doing the phase number two. I'll give you a data warehousing server. From here, we're going to be creating a lot of ETLs and SSAS packages. We are going to be loading the data to the data warehousing. Am I clear? So this is what we're going to be doing for next 30 to 40 days. We start with the ETL, we start with SSIS first, and then creating a data warehouse, then like cubing, then SSRS reports, and we also write a lot of stored procedures to load the data. We also work with the stored procedures. Remember, even though you don't know stored procedures, you will be able to write complex stored procedures in this. Clear? So daily I'll show you what is the task that you should do it, and later you have to take the next activity and do on your own and come back to me same time with the same meeting ID, so that if you're able to complete the activity, that is fine. If you're not able to complete the activity, I'll be you know sharing the I will be giving the permission to share your screen. You can just share me your screen so that we can troubleshoot the issue, then we can go to the next activity. Clear? The phase number one is very easy, anybody can do that. Okay, even though you know basics of ETL and SSIS, anybody can do it easily. And phase number two is very difficult. Clear? So that is where you will get more and more learnings are available. Then you know how to load the data to the data warehousing, how the data warehousing is created, everything I'm going to be giving. So you will get more and more learnings. Next 20 days we are going to be working on SSIS only. Remember this point. Our classes Monday to Friday, so we don't have classes on Saturday and Sunday. Remember this. Same meeting ID, same time. We are going to be connecting from tomorrow. So tomorrow we do the setup in your laptops. Clear? So that is what is going to be happening. So once the project setup is done in your laptop, now I will be giving you one activity tomorrow. Then we can continue further. So once that is done, then we'll take the second activity. It is a completely activity based. There is no theory. If you don't know something, I will be explaining what is a lookup, what is this, what is that, but more into practical, less into theory. Clear? If you have any doubts, I have uploaded lots of the videos in YouTube. Go to YouTube, Bhaskar Jogi MSBI channel, you just look for it, and you will be able to get a lot of SSIS videos, lot of SQL videos are available. Just watch them. You subscribe them, you watch them. In depth of knowledge is covered. Clear? If you have any kind of an issue, refer those videos. It will give you more and more knowledge. Clear? So theoretically, you need to put some efforts there, but practically, we are going to be working in this project. Clear? So you will see lot of challenges here. You love working with this. It is not very simple project, which is real-time project. So the real-time data I'm going to be sharing, and this data you have to install in your laptop. Clear? So make sure that you have SQL Server 2017 or 2019 is installed in your laptop. Clear? SQL Server 2017 or 2019 installed. If you don't have the software, you can write to my team. Okay. So trainings at goonlinetrainings.com, or you can call them 9642143942. They will be installing the software in your laptop one time. One time we are going to be doing for you. But later, if there is a problem with your software, you need to install it on your own. Clear? So they will be giving you the software as well. You can just download it and install it, and you ask the support from my team. So this is my team's number, and this is my number 90000756637. These two are WhatsApp numbers. This is my mail ID. If you have a technical issue, you can write it to me. If you have any other issue, you have to reach my team. If you wanted to know what is the fees and how to make the payments and all of them, if you wanted to know, my team is going to be telling you all these things. Clear? So those things you can ask these people, so they will be able to communicate everything. So if you need the project setup also, my team is going to be doing probably by tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, whenever you have a time. You just talk to them, and they will be installing the software as well as the required setup for this project. Because if the setup is there in your laptop, you can do independently, right? If it is there in my laptop, so you have to be with me. So I don't want to do like that. Complete setup will be given to you. You are going to be working in your laptop, and for the deployment purpose, I'm creating one more server. All the code we're going to be deploying into the production servers. Clear? So all of them we're going to be doing. If you have any kind of an issues, you're welcome. Clear? All the real-time challenges are covered. SSIS, SSAS, SSRS, plus stored procedures and SQL Server is also going to be covered. Clear? So you will get lot of gain knowledge after doing this project, right? You can easily keep this project in your CV as well. In your resume, you can keep this project. You can tell them that I have worked for this project last 2 years, and these are the data I have dumped it, and these are the challenges I got it, and these are the solutions I had given, and these are the reports I made it, these are the tables I have it, these are the primary keys, foreign keys we have it. Everything you can just bombard him, so people can understand that you are a full-time guy. You are a full-time guy. Clear? So this is how we're going to be, dealing. If you have any questions, please ask now.
Thank
The
you, guys.
first activity. Yeah. Same meeting ID. Thank you, guys.